Welcome back to 12 News at 6. 3 family members of an East Valley family have died after their plane crashed along the Nevada-Utah border. Tonight, loved ones are mourning as we continue to learn new details about the family. Team 12's Tram Mai has those details for us tonight.
Hi, it's Stacie Kvanvig with Keller Williams.
Stacie Kvanvig was a real estate agent with Keller Williams in the East Valley. Pictures from Stacie's Facebook page show what a close family they were and the fun they had. Even the anniversaries Stacie and Tom shared throughout the years. The messages and pictures from her friends are even more touching and heartbreaking. On Friday, the Elko County Sheriff's Department says a plane crashed in the middle of nowhere in Goshute Valley in northeast Nevada. Everyone on board, Stacie, Tom, and their 8-year-old son Daniel, died. Investigators believe they may have left Chandler for Twin Falls, Idaho. On Sunday, someone had organized a GoFundMe page saying Piper, who's 16, and Mason, who's 20, the daughters of Tom and Stacie, were fortunately not on the plane. Funds are being raised to assist in paying for funeral services and to keep the girls from worrying about food, water, and other bills. The goal was to raise $50,000. At last check, more than 160 people donated and more than $19,000 was raised. And the messages people left on this page were so touching, writing about Tom, saying he was a truly wonderful person, a great and loved leader at Intel Costa Rica. Tom had the kindest, biggest heart, and he touched many lives. And Tom was an exceptional human being who touched many lives with his light. For Stacie, she always gave her time to help me. Even one for Daniel. He was a very sweet young man. And one of the messages left behind to their 2 children, his daughters should feel proud of their parents. Tram Mai 12 News.